guys, what's up? Thanks for checking out how to film skateboarding. This is the GoPro episode. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some history on me and GoPro. Since I saw what the Hero 4 Black Edition could do with 4K, right when I saw that video, immediately I wanted to start working with them. So I was able to link up with GoPro through my good friend Jim Godaldic. Since I got my first GoPros, I've been really hyped with the image quality and just how they look and what type of rigs I used to shoot with them. Okay, so for settings, most of the time I shoot on 1080 Super View, 60 frames a second or 80 frames a second, depending on if you have the Black Edition or the Silver Edition, Hero 4. But I use those two for pretty much everything in skating. And then every now and then I'll mess with some of the other settings, but most of the time those. If I'm shooting some lifestyle stuff or B-roll stuff though, I'll definitely shoot in 4K just because it looks so good. Like this right now, this interview shot in 4K, 24p, and I love the way it looks. It's really beautiful. I can't wait till there's a 4K slow-mo, like 48 frames a second or something like that. It's gonna be freaking amazing. All right, so I'm just gonna go through some of the video settings with you guys that I use. For white balance, I always have it on auto. For color, I go GoPro color. ISO, I just leave it 6400, but everything I shoot pretty much is during the day, so it doesn't even really matter. My sharpness, I do put on low. Your Eevee compensation, this is very important. If you're shooting outside and it's really bright, and for skateboarders, we shoot low up, it will always compensate for the sun. So if you're shooting low up and it basically looks like you're getting a silhouette of your skater, bump up the Eevee compensation to a 0.5 or 1, and then your skater will be more in the right exposure and not the background. So it's up to you to kind of mess with that and decide which you want to do. But Eevee compensation really does help a lot with that. All right, guys, so this is my setup for just shooting like lines and just something that makes it feel more like a basic, like just, you know, DSLR setup. But I just mounted it to a cam caddy, and I had to glue it, and I also had to chop the cam caddy because it would pop out too much. So I just hacksawed it right off, and it works pretty good. I got the mic that I use. It's only a $30 mic, and it's really good. I actually tested a lot of different mics. This one's a Smith Victor lavalier microphone. Doesn't need any additional power source, works really good, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're gonna shoot the GoPro, I do recommend use some type of handle. This is just how I was able to rig mine. I put some weights on the back of it to actually weigh it down in the back, so when you film, it actually is a little bit heavier back there, which, you know, helps a lot to keep it stable. But I'm back in this setup. I've got some really good stuff with it, and yeah. I mean, you know, you can get these type of handles anywhere now. There's so many different types of them. You can get them at Best Buy, you can get them at your camera store. If you really want to get crazy, you can get Jason Hernandez's one, the Easy Handle, and that thing's amazing, and your GoPro footage will look extra buttery. But yeah, I recommend it, especially if you want it to feel more like a traditional like DSLR setup. All right, guys, so I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to shoot with the selfie stick. At first, I'm gonna say it's really awkward and it's kind of weird getting used to, but once you get used to it, you can do some really amazing shit with this thing. Mine though, I've definitely noticed other people's, and mine is actually pretty damn big. This is a 54-inch UK Pro Pole. You wanna see that right there? And I think it was like 50 bucks. But what I realized is that when you're shooting a skater and you're rolling or moving, when you can hold it with both hands, you can be way more stable. So for me, I definitely like the bigger ones, you know, but some other people, they like the really small ones you can just hold with one hand, but I feel like I can get it a lot more stable and make it look a lot better when I have a longer one like this. I'm gonna show you some examples right now of how it is to shoot some lines. All right, guys, so a big thing too though, if you're gonna shoot lines with this, you definitely wanna make sure it's on Super View. You can shoot it the other way, but you gotta be way further back. So if you're shooting it not in Super View, I mean, you can't see it, so it's actually kind of hard. But when it's in Super View, you can get really close, up to like a foot away. Some guys like to get way closer, but I tend to stay like a foot's about my maximum, just so you can try and see everything. But definitely have fun with it, experiment around. Okay, something really important that everyone who shoots skating with a GoPro should know is you're gonna wanna get the skeleton case so that there's holes so that you get better audio. I personally love shooting with the poles, especially lines, because it enables me to stay upright, and it makes it so that I'm not crouched down and a camera can pop up and hit me in the face. So for me, shooting lines like this it's a blessing, dude, and I'm super hyped on the quality and how it's been going lately. All right, guys, well, thanks for checking out this episode, and I hope you guys have learned some stuff about shooting with GoPros, and I hope to see your footage soon. Peace.